starts to
Yeah,
feel
but
woozy.
wouldn't that just be taking the oxygen out of the carbon dioxide?
We're not doing this.
That's not even a joke. I'm genuinely being serious.
No, that's not what that
Because
is.
it's CO2. So you would take the O2 out.
I don't know why you wanna treat me this way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 56 of this podcast.
Otherwise known as the Bromantic Podcast.
Sling 'em and bring 'em.
That is the slogan for the Bromantic Podcast.
We sling 'em, you bring 'em.
you bring 'em. That is probably not going to stick. And is,
We'll forget about that in about an hour.
Yeah. That long? Probably. Just before we get started, I just want to apologise to everyone that hay fever is.
Right.
I'm losing the good fight today
Ryan has been attacked savagely
by pollen.
by pollen.
Yeah.
And it's not done him well. It's not done him well. So what we've done in order to try and distract you from Ryan's creaky chair,
God, sorry.
he's stolen the creaky chair, guys,
Yeah.
and his pollinated nose is we've added some shenanigans.
Yeah.
You'll see Dave in the back here. You'll remember John. Sorry, you remember if you're an original watcher, John, our cameraman. We got rid of him because he had a terrible camera, but he decided to come back.
Yeah, as a dummy.
Yeah, because he is a dummy.
John.
You're like, sure. All right, mate.
You
Brilliant.
dummy.
Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Ryan,
And I'm Gaz.
and this is...
Bromantic.
At first, I was like, why the fuck are you asking what my name is?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean? We're not going to do any dad jokes today.
No, we've slung them off.
Yeah.
We're having a break.
Yeah, so we're going to fuck dad jokes off. And I'm just going to hit you up with some facts because I know you're a fact-based man.
Great, yeah. No,
So
definitely.
here's some wild and wonderful facts for you. Number one, the man who invented the frisbee was cremated and turned into a frisbee.
I got to be honest with you, that's top tier.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that fact.
I mean, of all the things to be turned into, your work is probably not the one I would go for.
Yeah, I know, but knowing that you brought joy to the masses with the
That's
frisbee.
do you think that's what the guy that invented the frisbee did?
Yeah.
Not brought joy to us, but thought. He was like, I've really changed the world here.
No, I didn't say he changed the world. Don't change what I said.
Go down in the history books with some of the greats.
No, that's not what I said.
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Although, how old was the guy who made the frisbee? Was he
old
before
was the
Nelson?
guy?
Like, was he before Nelson Mandela? What do you mean? How old?
It's
Why
a
are you looking at me
throwing disc.
weirdly?
I imagine it was pretty fucking early doors, yeah. How hard was it? Like, I don't think people are like, this is revolutionary. Like, it must have been made some time ago. I can't imagine that was a short while ago.
So, do you think pre-Nelson Mandela?
I'm almost certain
Martin
it
Luther
was.
King?
Yeah, it's got to be pretty there.
Florence Nightingale?
It's got around that time.
Yeah?
Imagine, yeah.
He was like, I'm with the greats, Florence Nightingale. Me and her. Like this. Frisbee creation. Healing the world.
Did they do cremation though? They just burn
Almost.
people.
I mean, maybe he just died in a fire.
Yeah, they were
Maybe
like,
he died in a fire
some of that in
holding
a frisbee.
It just melted on him.
That's 10 out of 10. That is. We've cracked it.
Smashed it. The United States hasn't minted any new Purple Heart metal since World War II. And they've just been using the stockpile that was prepared in anticipation of a ground invasion of Japan.
Really?
Yeah, not minted any new Purple Hearts.
That's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird.
Yeah.
How many did they think they'd need?
Yeah, well, that as
Jesus.
well. Yeah, to be fair. Then again, I do think that kind of... I
Isn't
was going to say they've probably not been in a lot of war, but they kind of have,
yeah.
so...
Purple Hearts is for people that die, right?
For people who've died of valour.
Yeah. So they were expecting loads of their troops to just die.
They were just going to dish them out.
Yeah, just
Good
like-
job, lads. Good
Yeah,
job.
some Purple Hearts for you.
Yeah. No.
Send it to the fans.
Gratefully, that didn't
Thankfully,
happen.
yes.
But
Thankfully.
sad of how the events of why it didn't happen as well.
Are we? Didn't the US win?
Yeah, but they dropped an atomic bomb on that.
Ah. We are sad,
Yeah,
yes.
we-
Yes, we're sad.
Yeah.
Here at the Bromantic Podcast, we'd like to tell you we're sad.
Yeah.
This is why I don't handle the press. Ryan's the press guy.
I just hit you with half a fact.
I'm like, yeah, Purple Hearts. He's like,
Yeah.
there was an atom bomb. Yes, there was an atom bomb. Can't be a shit.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that the US thought that if there was a ground invasion, they'd drop an atom bomb and kill a lot of their own troops. And that's why they did so many Purple Hearts.
No, I think...
Government conspiracies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's what it was, no.
Okay.
I think...
enough.
Yeah, I
I
mean...
mean, I'm not going to argue about it.
Also, did you know that America is such a young country? There is a shark older than it.
Yes, it's the Greenland shark.
It is a Greenland shark. There's my fact. Amongst your facts, there is currently a shark alive older than America.
That's not a single shark, a species of shark. Species is older.
Yeah.
It's not just a guy that's like hundreds of years old.
Yeah,
shark,
it is.
Just floating about.
Yeah, it is.
Named Dave.
Yeah, it is.
Dave the Greenland.
It is Dave the Greenland shark, yeah. There is a Greenland shark 400 years old.
There isn't. He's lying.
That's the
That's what we call impossible.
What did you think, sorry?
That the species of Greenland shark have been around for longer than America.
Yeah, I mean, lots of species of shark.
I know.
Why that one specific?
Because that's an old shark, isn't it? That's the one that looks old, right? Why are you laughing at me? What's going on here?
You know, there is the Greenland shark
Yeah.
specifically lives to 400 years old.
Oh, does it?
Don't know if you're mugging me.
How do you know that?
Are you mugging me off?
No. How do you know that?
Well, personally, I've not met a Greenland shark, but there are biologists, marine
That are
biologists.
400 years old.
No, they've seen this shark,
Right.
and they're able to tell how old it is.
How?
But I don't know. Carbon dating. I don't know.
Carbon dating makes sense.
But
If you had been more confident with that, I'd have believed you. If you had gone carbon dating, I'd have been like, oh, fair.
well, that's probably not the process they use to find the age. But that's the
I
process.
don't know that, do I? Yeah. I thought the Greenland shark was a species that had been around for
When you
longer.
say that, I was like, that can't be right. You can't think that.
He's
can't
he's
think.
not doing
Great
real
whites
things.
haven't been around for 400 years. So,
Mate, I didn't even know how long America had been around for, so let's not be silly about
fair
this.
enough. All right, you've got a
You kind of said 4,000 years, I'd have been like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
If the sun was scaled down to the size of a white blood cell, the Milky Way galaxy would be the size of the continent of the United States.
Just read that one more time, because that's very...
So if the sun
Yeah.
was shrunk down to the size of a white blood cell, and everything else was shrunk down with it,
Yeah.
the Milky Way would be the size of the United States.
That is mind-blowing.
Mental, isn't it?
Because
That's
we
how
can
large.
see Andromeda as well, our closest galaxy. And you're telling me that the Milky Way is that big?
Be the United States.
That's mental.
Hmm.
Yeah, fair
the
one.
size of space.
Yeah, that is... It's pretty... And we're like,
Fuck all.
does life exist? It's got to.
I don't think anyone else in the world exists.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, anyone in the universe.
All right, mate. You knew what I meant.
I think people
You
in
knew
the
what I
world
meant.
exist.
There you go.
It's not all about you.
Yeah,
all right?
It's only me.
I don't believe it. You're all NPCs. I'm the
My
one that
world.
exists.
I am the most important.
It's a bold statement. It's a very bold statement.
There was a time in history when trees existed, but the fungi that caused wood to rot had not yet evolved to digest wood. Dead trees and plants would pile up, and 35% oxygen atmosphere would cause massive fires. This is also the time where petrified wood came from the trees, would sit in the mud for hundreds of years and rot while minerals slowly replaced the wood.
Huh. Oh, this is interesting. Is that essentially where I'm guessing where like coal and stuff comes from?
Yeah, probably like deep in the ground, yeah, where just fire after fire after fire after fire.
Oh, it doesn't tell you when that happened.
Long time ago.
Just said a time.
at a time.
Yeah. I found things like that very... There was a time where... I was like, when? Why can't... If you've given me this much
When
information...
trees started.
That's probably not... I mean, it's probably around that time. But, I mean, I imagine it's not...
Back in the days where trees were a thing.
Yeah.
Now it's all about cities.
But that is a very interesting fact, actually, yeah. Also, 35% oxygen. That is buzzing. We'd all be high as a kite.
Yeah. What are we at now?
I think we're about 21%.
Ah, shocker.
But did you know, actually, that nitrogen, which I thought was around 80%, so nitrogen and oxygen together make up about 99% of the air's makeup.
And the rest is carbon.
It's everything else like argon and carbon
What do
dioxide. I think
trees
carbon
breathe?
dioxide is like a very small amount.
How do the trees breathe so much?
Breathe so much what?
Carbon dioxide.
They don't need a lot. They don't need a lot of carbon dioxide
that's
to make a lot of
minuscule
oxygen.
amount.
Yeah, that's all I need. They don't need
Maybe
a
that's,
lot at all.
'cause that's why. Maybe they're breathing it all in.
For example, I know we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. We don't breathe out shitloads.
Yeah.
So I think people think we breathe in pure oxygen and breathe out pure carbon dioxide, but that's just not. Like, it's why you can breathe into a bag for quite a while before you start to
but
feel
wouldn't,
woozy.
wouldn't that just be taking the oxygen out of the carbon dioxide?
We're not doing this.
That's not even a joke. I'm genuinely being serious.
No, that's not what that
Because
is.
it's CO2. So you would take the O2 out. And then you just bring out carbon.
No, that's not how it works. It's not.
Scientists who work with cockroaches often develop allergies towards cockroaches, and at the same time they also develop allergies to pre-ground coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I mean, I'd love to know why. That
I
would
haven't
be.
got that, mate.
No, I
She's got a
would,
list.
I would love to know why.
Just a list, my
I'm
friend.
a real digger. The digger.
He's
I'm
a real digger.
I'm a real digger. You heard it correctly. No one needs to rewind the podcast. I said I'm a real digger for a good fact. Okay? You've all heard it. I'm one of the real ones. Okay? I'm
I'm a real one.
a real one. I'm a real digger. You've heard it?
Stop saying it.
I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm literally saying nothing wrong. I'm saying what I'm saying. You've heard it correctly. You've heard what I've said. Okay?
Okay.
Everybody's in agreement. I love a fact. That's all we've taken from that. That's all we've taken.
All right.
A thirst for knowledge.
A thirst for knowledge,
That's
guys.
what we've got from that.
The Stegosaurus lived 150 million years ago, and the T-Rex lived 65 million years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Stegosaurus is more ancient to the T-Rex than the T-Rex is to us.
Yeah, that's good math.
That's mental to think about.
That is mental to think about, but that is just some good
Especially
maths
when you
there.
think about the T-Rex and the Stegosaurus, you often think of at the same time.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Jurassic Park would have done that to you, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Intelligent.
Oh, no. When you said you often think, I was really interested to know what you were. I just didn't know where you were going to go with that. It's so interesting because when you think about
The dragons.
I was like, the Stegosaurus. You often think about, and I was like, what do you often think about? It just got me for a second. I didn't know what the next words were going to be. And Jurassic Park has fooled everybody into thinking that dinosaurs, all those dinosaurs that we know and love, all existed around the same time.
I don't think Jurassic Park did it in a way that was intentional.
No.
Obviously, they were just bringing back to life creatures from all...
But then they called it Jurassic Park, which the T-Rex wasn't even a part of.
No, Cretaceous.
He was indeed. Yes. Which was what ended the dinosaurs. So the Cretaceous period was the last of the dinosaurs. So,
And started the crustacean period.
yeah, okay. So what's next?
It came after, right? Cretaceous. No? Ice Age.
No, not Ice Age. There had been, an Ice Age did wipe out one large area. Did you know a plant wiped out the dinosaurs as well?
And then a meteor did.
No, that's what wiped out the Cretaceous period.
Right.
But plants also wiped out. There was an ivy that was very poisonous, and it ended up being like covering the globe
Really?
and just killed off everything. So it had to do a full. Then it went through an ice age, went for a full cycle, and then life had to like re-blossom, as it were.
Jesus.
Yeah. There was a volcanic eruption that gave out like deadly spores that wiped out like a huge 80% of life on Earth as well.
Really?
Yeah, we've been through like loads of mass extinctions.
Jesus.
Yeah, but the meteorite's the one that's known because that was like the one that killed off the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then mammals came about after that.
Okay. So what was mass extincted before?
So it was dinosaurs.
Oh,
it's
just
why like
different periods of
Stegosauruses
time.
didn't last all the way through.
Okay, got you.
And stuff like that. They all went extinct at a point and had to.
How interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spores.
Spores, they'll get you.
The killer of dinos. Pineapples take 2 years to grow.
That's a good one, that though. I also love the fact about pineapples that we are the only nation to call them pineapples. And obviously, the only language to call them pineapples, sorry. Everyone else calls them? You know what they call them?
For that frittatas or something, isn't it?
No. Fritters that you're trying to think of there? Or?
No, like it's something like that.
No,
Bananas or
it's-
bananas.
Bananas is very close.
Yeah, something like
It's-
that.
It's bananas without the B.
Ananas.
It's ananas. And I just think, like, why did we just go? Did we just go? Sounds too much like bananas.
No, 'cause I think we named them because we obviously the English discovered pineapples. We were like, that's got pines on it, and it's similar to an apple when cooked with pork. So
Yeah.
that's why we call it pineapple.
And everybody else went, no, ananas.
Everyone went, no.
And then that's what
No,
they heard
yeah,
it as.
that's-
Yeah, no.
Done. No.
I don't think he meant for that joke to work like that, but it
Yes,
went
it did.
brilliantly.
That's literally exactly
You
how I
went,
meant it.
No. Oh, that is
Yes.
perfect. That's such a good joke. That's a really good joke then. Love that.
When humans started farming, blue eyes hadn't evolved in humans yet.
When humans started farming,
Yes.
blue eyes hadn't evolved in humans.
So humans were farming before blue eyes existed.
That's a bit mental, isn't it? Then
What
again,
would be the cause of blue eyes? Just
Right.
sunlight in your eye.
honestly, I've got no. Like most things, it's probably just like
Mutation.
yeah, and then enough people, obviously that gets into enough of the blood,
Yeah.
the genetics of it.
And then they become like the superior race and...
Well, just to be clear, only 10% of the world have got blue eyes.
Have they?
That's it.
Oh.
2% have got green eyes.
Hitler failed.
I mean, we all know he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair comment.
Clearly.
You're a little brown-eyed boy, aren't you, as well? So
You're a little blue-eyed boy.
I am. I'm a
Mr. 10%.
minority.
How's your struggles? I'll check my privilege.
Yeah.
Cigarette lighter was invented before the match.
That is crazy.
Mm.
I mean, you can kind of see why. Because obviously...
I imagine it was probably invented for not smoking.
Obviously, yeah,
Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was just for lighting things on
I
fire.
suppose it was... Because to burn a bit of oil, that's a bit easier than having the chemical reaction of
Yeah.
striking the match along...
Yeah.
You know, there'd have been some chemistry involved in that rather than just burning a bit of oil.
Yeah, but it would still be striking to get a spark, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but only onto a bit of oil. Obviously, the whole flint issue was sorted way back when. Still, that was covered. That's early chemistry. That one.
That was early doors.
Yeah.
Some time before that,
Yeah.
Flint and Steel? No.
Yeah. I said flint and steel. I think it's flint and steel. Yeah. But yeah, no.
Dozens of Americans die every day from slipping in the shower and hitting their heads.
Dozens.
It's one of the leading causes of non-medical deaths in the
You're
USA.
joking.
Slipping in the
Dozens
shower
a
and hitting
day.
their heads, yeah.
God. They are an obese nation, though.
Do you think it's obesity?
I think I think yeah. I think that's
I don't think it's dancing.
Do you know what? I fucking hope it's not. Maybe a mix of the two. Maybe a mix of the two.
like dancing.
Ooh.
Dance like nobody's watching. No, don't.
Don't do that in the
Stop.
shower. Yeah.
You're singing there, don't dance.
That's crazy. That's a good fact. That's the sort of facts I don't believe, like, is a real fact, if you know.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe it, but I'm just like, that's mental.
Yeah. That's so ridiculous that that's not been sorted.
Yes.
That's what's annoying about it.
Yes.
Like, how has that not been a thing?
We've got a slip-proof mat in my shower.
Makes perfect sense.
Keep it safe.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I'll risk it.
No one's died from this before. Actually.
Actually, you'd be surprised.
Yeah. There is, on average, a supernova explosion every 50 years in the Milky Way. On average, there are 30 every second in the
That's
observable
30.
universe.
I can't even believe that. Not only that, how many fucking galaxies can we see?
Don't know.
It's got to be a ridiculous number to narrow down. So let's like our galaxy has one every 50 years.
Yeah.
How many have you got to see to change that from 30 a second?
Yeah, but maybe if you go outside our galaxy, it's just like a bit chaotic.
I mean, possibly. But if you look at the probabilities,
What causes a supernova? Just a dying star.
yeah.
Well, it's not really anything. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a supernova is when it goes from a red giant and then it breaks down into a white dwarf. The transformation from a white dwarf into a black hole or a neutron star is a supernova.
After hitting the iceberg, it took 2 hours and 40 minutes for the Titanic to submerge underwater. Let that sink in.
Eee.
It's really annoying that joke's actually written here as well.
That's
what's more disappointing.
Yeah.
It's a really obvious joke. I just feel like...
To be honest with you, that's a reasonable amount of time for the boat, the size of it.
I bet the time went faster if you were there, though.
Yeah, God. I bet that's what kept him going. Oh, I wonder when it will go under.
It's been like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Did you just be eaten by sharks and shit? And they're like, wait, hang on.
Hold a second.
They're doing bets. I think from the moment it struck the iceberg.
What, you recommend 2 hours and 40 minutes?
Yeah. I don't think it was like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I reckon from the moment it struck it, it took it a while to break in half.
Probably.
And I think that's when the real sinking happened.
Does the sinking start from when it hit the iceberg?
That's
when the sinking begins?
That's what I say.
Or does the sinking begin when enough water is taken on that it starts?
Because I think that's a bit more here and there.
Yeah, but you could hit an iceberg, take on a bit of water, or it was how the Titanic was designed, was to take a bit of water in the compartment and not sink.
Mm.
So you wouldn't start sinking until enough water's been taken on that the boat sinks.
I think you're sinking as soon as you start taking water on.
But you're not, because the Titanic was literally designed to be able to take a hit.
Yeah, but...
You're really shit at it, though.
Yeah, it didn't do well.
No.
I think you're sinking, regardless of if you sink, you are sinking, you're going to go lower in the water. Like
you're working on technicalities here. You know what we're talking about when we say sinking.
Yeah, but if I said to you the boat's sinking, it doesn't mean we're under the water, does it? We're just sinking.
Yeah, but we're not sunk.
Yes, I agree with you. It's not sunk.
Well, then you could just take the entire journey of the Titanic and be like, that was sinking the whole time.
No, it wasn't, though, was it?
It was. As it going up and down in the waves, it sunk a little bit.
No, it hasn't. Because if I run up to you and went, we're sinking, you'd go, is there a hole in the boat? And I'd go, no.
No, but we're going down in the water. We're sinking.
No, we're not.
That's what
We're floating. We're floating, but when we're taking on water, we are essentially sinking.
No, we're not.
We are. If we're going to go downwards at a constant rate.
But you're not.
We are.
We're still floating.
Yeah,
until we've taken on enough water that we start to sink.
All right, I'll give you a... So if we're in a boat, let's just say a yacht, because that's our future.
Singing a yacht. Yeah.
Suddenly, the boat's got a leak in it.
Yes. Dangerous.
What do I say to you next?
There's a leak.
Right? And
I go, has it taken on enough water to sink?
That's my point. That is exactly my point. You would go...
I would say to you, is it a bad leak? That's what I would say. Reenact it. This is how it would... Right, come on. We're on a boat. I'm under deck, probably eating.
You can actively avoid it now, though.
No, I won't. I'm under the deck. I'm eating, probably, because that's what I do.
Hey, let's get this scenario right.
Come on, let's be on point.
I'm drunk and I'm steering badly, right?
Got it. Should you be doing that, Ryan?
You feel a bump.
Where's the captain? Neither of us can sail a ship. What are you doing?
I'll come down. Fuck, Gaz.
What? What's wrong?
I've hit a rock.
Oh, God.
we're fucking... I think we're sinking.
But how do you know?
Well, there's a hole in the boat.
Oh, how big's the hole?
I don't know. I just know that we're slowly going down.
Oh, so the boat's taken on enough water that we're sinking.
I believe.
Because earlier on, I was driving the boat, I hit a small rock, and there's been a little hole in the side of the boat for ages. We haven't sunk or anything, though.
Oh.
It's been floating.
But we've been slowly sinking.
No, not at
all.
all.
Or have we been sinking and then levelled?
No, just been floating along. It's been fine. It's not been a problem.
Well,
but
then
since
we've
you
never
hit
been
the rock,
sinking. Yeah,
I've
taken
driving the
full
boat
blame.
drunk. I've told you about this several times.
I'm taking full responsibility, but I just want to gather we're sinking.
Yeah, now we are, but we weren't earlier.
But I don't know if we will sink. But currently,
I understand that. That makes sense. But what I'm saying to you is earlier when I hit a rock and there was a small hole, we still took on water. We did not sink.
But for that bit, we were sinking.
Nope, not at all. We were floating. We were still floating
slowly
along.
sinking.
No,
we
not
were
at all.
still floating, but sinking at the same time.
No, not at all. We weren't even sinking.
But if we were taking on water...
If you check the syncometer on the front of the boat, you'll see same level.
I don't know about that. I literally think we'd be further under the water.
Syncometer. Check it. You can't now because you crashed the boat. You've ruined every experiment we could have done.
You've got a fair point. But I still... Hey, you vote.
If you
The
drive a
second,
boat,
the second you hit a rock, are you sinking, or is it once you take on enough water, then you're sinking?
you're going to be like, you sink by 0.2 cubic. Shut up.
That's
Nothing.
sinking.
No.
That's still sinking.
There are more chickens in America than there are people on the planet.
This is a bit mind blowing for me as well.
Yeah. More chickens in America than there are
People on the planet.
people on the planet.
They've got like...
Which you kind of makes sense because people obviously mass farm chickens.
Yeah, I know, but you got to think there are like 300 million people in America.
It's people on the earth.
No, I know. I'm just saying, why do they need that many chickens?
Well, because they ship it out to people, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah, of course they do.
We've got everywhere's got chickens. Why have they got so many?
Because they've got a larger amount of space.
No, I guess that's a fair comment.
Farmland.
Yeah, that is like 9 billion chickens.
Yeah, mental.
That is unbelievable.
Just in America.
Yeah,
Not even in the world.
that's what I mean. If I was like, there's 300 million people on it, you'd be like, that's a lot of that. A 9 billion chicken. You'd be like, why? Why are there that many chickens?
Why? And the fact that why is you're not, wow, that's pretty cool. You're like, why though?
Yeah,
Why do you
literally.
need that many?
That is my exact thing on it, though.
And there's still people starving.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That's
part of
mental,
that,
isn't
yeah.
it? There's more chickens than people on the earth. There's still a massive issue with people starving.
That's crazy. It's literally crazy.
The first electric car was invented at the end of the 19th century. It went 65 miles an hour.
No fucking way. Oh, that's pretty impressive. At the end of the 19th century.
Yeah.
So in 1890 whatever, they made an electric car that went 65 miles per hour.
Yeah, early 1900s, yeah.
Well, you said the late 19th century, not the early 1900s.
Yeah, I mean, that's late 19th is kind of late 1800s, early 1900s, isn't it?
Specifically, it's
Stop pulling me on shit, all right? I've had enough of it. Just let it go, all right? I'm like 10 years off. Just chill. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Just shut up. It doesn't matter. Just let it go.
Okay.
It's not that deep.
Okay, I'm letting it go. I'm no longer thinking about it.
But you just said a different time.
Look at the time.
Just stop.
It's 10 to 10. It's 10 past 11. No, it isn't. Oh, it's basically the same.
Bro, if I went to you, the time was 5 to 12, and I went, oh, it's just gone 12. It's not that much.
I would be like, no, it isn't. I'd be like, that's specifically wrong. Yeah, it's close. It is close. That's the... Oh, God, but it's not right.
Fine. Yeah, it's impressive, okay?
That's
Are we
so
happy?
impressive, yes. I'm glad I went back onto that.
There are more tigers privately owned in Texas than there are tigers in the wild.
I don't know if I believe that.
No?
If you told me that there were 10,000 tigers owned in Texas privately, I wouldn't believe you.
No? How big is Texas? Like, what's the population of Texas?
Hey,
Sorry. Are you acting like you don't normally know this shit?
I don't know if I mentioned Texas.
I could ask you random shit and you're like, oh yeah, it's this. And anybody, in fact, every time I've told you a fact, you come up with a different fact about it. If you choose not to have children, you're the first person in your direct ancestry, all the way back to when humans started, to have not had children.
Incorrect.
Sorry?
You can't be the first person. If I've got 3 kids, 2 of them have kids and 1 of them doesn't.
In your direct ancestry.
That line continues. That one, though, chose not to have kids.
Yeah, but that's not your direct
That's still your
ancestry.
great.
Yeah, but your direct ancestry.
Yeah. Well, also, what if I've got an older brother that didn't have kids first? And he was the first.
But he's not your direct ancestry.
God, I suppose, if you're looking at it that linear.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you. That was actually brilliant.
Thought you'd like that.
I did thoroughly enjoy that, I can't lie. Got a couple of little emails here for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. So I need some help on an issue I don't think you've talked about before.
But
But it's about jobs.
Okay.
So today I had probably one of the worst panic attacks I've ever had over something so minimal. But it's from something that has been building up over a long time. In my line of work, we have a lot of margins to fill. We need to make sure the venue is clean, but we can't waste labour. We have to send out items before a certain time, but we can't waste labour. We've got to keep morale up, but we can't waste labour. I see a trending thing here about labour. I feel like every day I go into work and it turns into a game of who's going to have a go at me about their rota. I am the boss, but my employees forget that I too have a boss. I have to answer to others. I don't take away their hours because I enjoy watching them suffer. I hate that labour is a part of hospitality and retail and whatever else it affects. My problem is I'm genuinely stuck. I don't know what to do or where to go from here. I don't have any qualifications as I've been working in hospitality for almost 15 years. I have no education because I'm thick as shit and struggle to learn academically. I feel I'm too old to change careers, and currently, with the way the world is, I'm very lucky with my job salary. I need to leave for the same or higher paid job, so basically I'm stuck. Do you have any advice on somehow someone like me can deal with this situation? I'm tired of hating my job. Please send help. Much love, Charles. I recently did a complete career change for not quite the same reasons, but a career in something that you enjoy is very important. Now, the role of hospitality can cover a variety of roles, and obviously you've got management experience as well now. So if you were to go to another job, I always think it's really important to apply to jobs. Get yourself a good CV and just apply it and see who comes back. See who says, yeah, we're interested in this CV. Because then you know what you're looking at. Like if you went out there and said, right, I've got a decent CV here, I'm going to apply to 15 jobs that I'm interested in, and none get back to you, then you know that you have to make a different type of change. Or that your current change you need to make needs to be more internal. Whether that's meetings with managers, etc., etc. Like, because your mental health's got to come much higher than it sounds like you're currently prioritising it. But that would be my advice to you: is there is an unbelievable amount of jobs out there, and even if they're similar to yours, the structure may be completely different. So don't rule off doing the same job somewhere else. Because of your work environment is stressful, doesn't mean doing the same job somewhere else will be just as stressful.
Although I do agree with you that a job has to be enjoyable, I'm kind of a mindset that whatever you do as a job will eventually become unenjoyable. I think it will. I think when it becomes a monotonous task and it becomes that you have to do something, not because you want to do it, but because you have to, it will always become a monotonous, mind-numbing task. Do you know what I mean? I can't see it being anything else, although it is a means to an end. So part of me, in the nicest way possible, is very much of an attitude of, like, if you're getting paid well and you're doing your thing, kind of suck it up. But I understand people, like, mental health is very important. Do you know what I mean? And if it's affecting your mental health and you as a person, just sticking it out and hoping for the best, hoping for the best isn't going to do anything. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree with that, and I think they've acknowledged it themselves. They're on a good salary and they're very grateful for that. But like I say, it doesn't mean you shouldn't take a look at other avenues. You might get the same salary doing something very similar, but in a better working environment. I
also, something that maybe, I mean, whether it's a possibility for you or not, obviously it sounds like the management position you're in, it's dealing with the backlash and stuff of staff and bits and pieces like that is what's majorly affecting you, and the pressure from above. I don't know whether it's something you could look into about maybe getting some sort of assertiveness training or something along those lines that would help you more within that role, dealing with people and alleviating the pressure from you. Because it can be something as simple as just being more assertive with people will change how their attitudes are with you. And if you're getting crap from the bottom and from the top, you're kind of squished in this awful area.
Shit sandwich.
A shit sandwich, exactly. In this awful area Whereas, you know, and I'm not saying you're a pushover or anything like that, but assertiveness training can help in all walks just to deal with almost putting people in their place, if that makes sense. That's probably the wrong terminology.
No, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, I mean, but like being like, no, this is how it is. Do you know what I mean? Both to people that are working under you and above you, like explaining exactly what your priorities and stuff are and what your limitations are to the people who, you know, your bosses and stuff like that. And then also, you know, as you say, like, I'm not here to cut your hours because I want to. Unfortunately, from the top, this is what we've got to do. So this is what we've got to do.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, maybe that'll help. That's just like playing devil's advocate to the kind of go and search for another job.
Yeah, if you're going to stick at it, that's a very good thing to think about, is to think about ways to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good avenue to look at as well. But I think if you come to a point where making it work isn't working, that's very good to realise when that moment is as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you might have been just doing the same thing every day at the minute and just hoping it would get better, which I can assure you is a very bad tactic. So I massively agree with Gaz and the idea of finding an avenue to help make it work.
Also, dependent on what your current, obviously I'm not sure what your current plans are in life, but if you don't have anything that you need money for, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know you've got a partner and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have got like a mortgage together or whatever the situation is, but if you don't, then maybe taking a pay cut for a little while in order to work yourself through up something you enjoy is another avenue you can look at. Like rather than going, oh crap, there's no jobs for X amount that I'm earning right now, maybe look at something in a lower position that you normally go in an office or something like that, if that's where you want to go, and work your way up to the salary you want. Yeah. Obviously, this will need to be discussed with your partner and what you guys are going for. I don't know your financial situation. So that's another option. It's another avenue for you if that's what you would want to do.
Yeah. Also, like online courses and stuff. Like, and I know you said there that you're thick or whatever. And I mean, I know you're a very bright person, but I think you underestimate what these courses do. Like, there's home learning. You can do it in your own time. Like, there's no longer a teacher stood in front of you. It's an environment you can't work in. You can create your own working environment to learn in these courses. It's something that I'm quite big on, the whole doing courses thing. I used to be like, why? But now I'm like, hey, it's really good. You should probably have a go at that.
It works then.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's an apprenticeship type thing, if that works better for you, if you're a practical learner, there's apprenticeships and stuff like that, you know? So I just think explore your avenues, I think is where we're kind of...
And don't get stuck in this headspace of it must be X amount of money, X amount of hours, X amount of this. Have a realistic look at your whole life rather than looking at just job. Look at what can be adjusted within your whole life in order to make you happier, because it's very rarely just job that's going to be making you sad. And that job, there's certain aspects of it that can change by molding your life around it, as opposed to just going, keep everything else exactly the same, just change job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'd agree with all that, yeah. Hopefully some of that you can take away or interpret the way that would help you, and, you know, or we could just go with along the lines of, like, change your attitude. How about that? Just do better.
Suck it up.
Yeah. Maybe you're the problem. Nah, don't go with that. That's...
Jesus Christ.
No, yeah. I thought I'd hit you with all angles.
Yeah.
So that you might listen to that.
She's like, what's your advice? You're like, everything.
All of it. Here's all of the advice.
Here's advice. Choose which one you like.
Yeah. And work with it.
Yeah, cool.
I think we've covered all angles of advice possibly for that. If you have any more advice, please email us. No,
yeah. So, on your advice, I watched a beautiful TV show, or film, should I say, that starred a Jason Statham the other day.
Yeah.
And my God, you didn't express how bad it was. It is. How has that gone through and made a movie?
Yeah.
How has that been released and they've got, or someone's looked at it and gone, the final cut and gone, that's the one.
Send that out to the world.
I just want to, there's a scene in it where, what do they discover? That the orcs are coming or whatever. Now, it's a pretty big reveal that the orcs are now attacking and so-and-so's revived, or whatever it is. The scene's about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
The guy walks through the room and goes, he says the orcs coming. One guy doesn't believe him and he's like, I think they are coming. And it just cuts away.
That's
That's
it,
it.
yeah.
It's done.
It's done, yeah.
Like,
All right, cool.
it's an insane film. And I don't get it.
No. It's honestly, it's one of the craziest low budget,
You have to.
high end films.
There is no explanation that's going to make it like
You
you
won't believe
understand
it.
how bad it is.
Yeah. What-
You have to watch it.
What do you
to
think of the forest
realise-
people?
Oh my god!
What do you think of them?
Why are they there?
Why are they there? Why is that a thing? Oh, no! How bad is they're like
They don't
cutaway
do
scenes.
anything.
Yeah, they just show them like, and you're like, why is that doing that?
And then
It would have been better if you just videoed him in a tree. Like, why are they doing that
the
bit?
other weird thing is that they don't do anything on the vine. It's not like they're swinging and kicking people and they just hold the vine and the vine does shit.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Like,
It's
why do they have a
mental.
sudden affinity to that woman?
No idea.
They're like, oh,
Sudden
she's
mix
now,
up.
we're going to save her because we can.
We're the tree people.
Yeah.
We save people.
The main tree person.
Yeah. Oh, honestly. And they're not even in that long, are they? But it's when they're in there, you're like, I'm in. I'm here long run.
I am a massive fan of the boomerang.
Right. When I say to people, like, it's really shit, and then I'm like, and guess what the main weapon is? A boom. And when I say boomerang, I think people are thinking this has got to be an all singing or dancing
No,
boomerang.
it's just a boomerang.
It's a fucking boomerang. That's
it.
it.
It does all sing all dancing things.
Oh
but
god,
it
yeah.
is just a boomerang.
Jason Statham is incredibly talented with the boomerang.
They also don't introduce it as like a. They make sure you're aware that the boomerang's where he's at within the first 10 seconds of the film.
Yeah.
Where he gets rid of the crows.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First 10 seconds, mate. Boomerang's out. This is his weapon, boys.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry. There's a scene in it that makes zero fucking sense to me. So obviously they're all destroying the village and killing everyone in it and all that lot when he goes to rescue his wife and his son. He's obviously walked into this hut with the main bad guy and they're fighting. The main bad guy's fucking him up. And he goes for his son to kind of drive him a bit crazy. Starts fighting with him and his son runs off. Now he's already fighting the guy he wants to kill, but he leaves him to chase his son, who's fucking irrelevant because what he wants to do is kill this guy who he's just thrown into a wall. Why?
There are lots of plots that are not really making sense to me in that movie, to be honest with you. I think that as well how quickly he gets over his wife is interesting as well. He's like, oh, anyway. And I'm like, that is quick.
Jason, calm yourself.
Yeah, like farmer.
Yeah,
So, a little subject that I wanted to bring up with you was actually because I know I showed you the video of Atlas on the balance beam.
Big proud.
Yeah,
Big proud.
Big proud on that one. It's something that I've been telling my other half. I'm like, you got to get him on the balance beam.
Yeah.
Because I'm at work, so I can't take him. I'm like, you need to take him, and you'll see how I've done a lot of work with him on it.
Yeah.
She took him, he smashed it. I was like, great, it's a video of it, perfect. But I know as well you've been doing some training with Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
So my topic, I suppose, is children, training and athletics. So do you think, because I know a lot of people probably view this differently.
Mm-hmm.
People, I would say, don't train their children, but they just let their children just play.
Yeah.
And they kind of see that as, they go to the park, they'll let them on the bike and stuff like that. Do you think it's important to add structure and training to this, to their regime? Or do you think you could just let them be and play and do whatever?
So with Elijah, I'm very clear when we're training and when we're playing are like two different things. But the main thing, one of the main things I want to kind of instill in him with it is training. Training is what we're doing to get better. Like play is play, and obviously you can get better at stuff like that and all that. But we're training to get better at certain things. So one of the things he loves is timed stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we'll time something or whatever. And when he improves, he loves it. Do you know what I mean? We make a big deal out of it. We're hyped up. Do you know what I mean? And that's why we're training. We're training to do better. And I'm not training, don't get me wrong, I'm not training him in really specific things. It's kind of like overall. So like we'll do like agility stuff and bits and pieces. And I'm not saying to him, you're doing this so you can play X, Y, Z when you're older.
Yeah.
It's just to keep him in like an athletic frame of mind.
Yeah.
And I always want to make sure he's enjoying himself.
Yes.
I never want to walk away from a training session where he's sad or upset. He can be disappointed. We have walked away from training sessions previously where I've said to him he's not done as well. Like I've said to him, obviously he's still done good, but like I watch him ninja train every week, and like he'll have misbehaved or he'll have run around, or all the other kids are doing the big balance beam, which he's done before, and he'll just go on the little one because he just feels a bit nervous about it. And I'm like, well, why are you not pushing yourself? And I think really instilling in him that what we're doing is training and we're practicing. We're not looking for perfection. That's one thing, like when he says he can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. It's really important to instill that we're not looking for perfection the first time. The reason we practice is to get better.
Yes.
So don't worry about not doing it right. Don't worry about not being able to do it the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. The reason we're doing this is so you get better.
Yeah.
You know, which took a surprising amount of time to get into him.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair that would take a while. I think the understanding of that in an adult environment seems quite normal, but for a child, I can imagine.
For example, like the most simple way I can put it, like the monkey bars. Like we've done the fireman's pole, we've done certain thing. The monkey bars he's not very good at. But I kept saying to him, like, I'm going to be here. Like, I'm holding you. You're not doing the monkey bars on your own. And I'm not expecting you to do them straight away. You know, the reason we keep doing them is because you get better every time.
Yeah.
And every time I hold you less and less and less and less. And he's almost there, but trying to get into him that I'm not expecting him to just jump up and crack on with the monkey bars straight away is just...
Yeah, I suppose there has to be that understanding of practice.
Yeah.
Of, I really, you will enjoy this. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting you to get it right now.
No, 100%.
And have fun and blah, blah, blah. Like, we need to
And the thing is, he loves, even if we call it training and stuff like that, he still loves it. Do you know what I mean? It's not,
I think training's so important, though.
Yeah.
I just do.
What's your plans with Atlet? I know you're going to be quite...
Yeah. So, my main thing is, like, I'm really thingy on, like, what I call, like, indoor training. So I want to have half an hour when I come home from work where we do something educational, and then an hour where we'll do something like, I'll take him to the park, kick football around, or whatever it is that he wants to do. But I really, really want him to have structure, because I didn't have structure. And I do think it's really important. And I'm not knocking my childhood because of that, but I do think it's so, knowing that I didn't have it. And then when I went to a grammar school, and I saw how structured everybody was, I realised, that's needed.
Yeah.
That different level of structure is actually really important. These guys know how to study.
Yeah.
And so because they've gone home and they've always done it.
Yeah.
So now they're in school and they're doing it.
Yeah,
Like it'd be lunch break and they'd be like, I'm just going to go and do some homework before. And I'm like, it's lunch break.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But like they're so used to the idea of in their spare time doing this.
Do X, Y, Z, yeah.
So I'm like, I really want him to get that into his mindset.
Will you make, so the half hour educational,
Yeah.
I imagine will be like homework and stuff like that. With the hour after that you're going to be going and doing, are you going to make that playtime or are you going to make that training? Will you make that like, right, we're training now, we're doing...
Training.
Yeah?
Yeah. So in fact, I'm very lucky that I've got a good amount of background in a lot of sports. So I feel like I really want to mix it up and do lots of things with him, but I only want to do what he's going to have fun with.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to like take him to the track and be like laps, and he's going to be like, "This is no." Like you're nowhere near the age where
I think,
kind of
I think
thing's gonna
now,
be fun.
as long as you can turn it into play,
Yes,
I think it's very like my hand-eye coordination training with Elijah is we'll take a football into the park as we're just playing. We won't do it continually, but as we're playing, and I'll roll the football down the slide. He's got to kick it as it comes off the end.
yeah, nice.
Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
great.
Stuff
That's
like
fun.
that, which is brilliant. He'll miss it occasionally or stuff. And then we've quite recently changed to a rugby ball because obviously it bounces around a bit more.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
He's pretty good at that.
The only thing we're playing at the minute is I'm trying to teach Atlas how to throw. Obviously, I always remember he's only 18 months old.
Takes a while.
But he's got the concept of doing this now, but it goes straight up every time. Obviously, I'm like, I'll just clap, and I'm like, hey, like, good, Matt. And then I'll show, every time I'm like, and I'll throw it, and then he'll, like, collect it.
When to release is a skill. Elijah still messes up sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially, he can throw forward.
Yeah.
And, like, if I'm standing in front of him, and I realised this when we went to Chessington the other day, he can throw to me if I'm standing in front of him, no problem. But I was up a level, and he was trying to throw a ball to me like there.
Yeah.
He couldn't figure the angle. Couldn't get the angle of trying to throw. So he's throwing. Sometimes it's going over there. Sometimes he's just letting go like here. So
That's
sometimes
interesting,
it's going up
isn't
behind.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those
So
are the simple things.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, this should be easy, but it's realistically when you think about it, that's probably not that easy. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be tough, and that's what I have to constantly remind myself with Atlas. I have to like his balance is better than mine, and it's stuff like that though that gets me deluded.
yeah.
Because I'm like, well, you should be good at everything. You know, I have to be like, no, like, that's not fair. Like, he does stuff, and I'm like, I would fall 100%. Like, you're not falling, I would definitely fall there. So fair play to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what else can you do? What other gems do I need to discover here?
Take the steering wheel.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? What have you got here, boy? You're a rally driver, huh? What have you got? My mum has to she's had to like train herself to parent the way we parent.
Okay.
Because it's so alien to her how we parent.
Really?
Yeah, she really struggles to let Atlas do his thing.
Okay.
She wants to constantly be like, no, that's dangerous, or no, don't do that. And I'm like, Mum, leave him. Like, he's fine.
Yeah.
And he is fine. And as you know, we've got a problem with how fearless he is.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to let him safely hurt himself.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to bother him still. As I said to you earlier, like, he climbs constantly over everything. And most toddlers do. But he very rarely falls. And I'm kind of like trying to let him fall a little bit, but not too dangerously. Like I said to you the other day, we've got a very low coffee table and he likes to climb on it, which is fine. He'll only fall on the sofa or on the floor. It's not going to kill him type thing. And for the first time ever, he fell off the other day and he banged his face on the floor a little bit. And I thought, right, this will teach him a lesson. Got a little bit upset, sat him back down after about 30 seconds, climbed straight back on the table. And I was like, oh. And I showed you the video, didn't I, at the end of the, when he walks across the thing.
Yeah, just literally steps off.
Must be 5 feet, 4 feet. He just walks straight off the edge of it.
Yeah,
Not bothered.
Zero care in the world.
Yeah, he's not like, oh, that's high.
No.
He's like, nah, that'll do. just walk off it.
Oh, this is the end.
Yeah, that'll do me. And I'm like, that should frighten you.
Yeah.
But no, he's just not. That's just one thing we're going to have to cover at some point, I guess. I don't really know what to do about that.
Don't take him on any cliff-top walks for a while.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes.
Or attach him to you.
Yes, yeah. That's probably the best thing to do, to be fair. But I don't know, like, as I said to you before, like, the style that we parent is that gentle parenting thing, and that's meant to build confidence. It's the whole point of it. And I can massively, like, who knows how he would have turned out anyway, but he's so confident.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that our fault? Did we go too far? Have we made him supremely
super confident?
Yeah, he now believes he can't feel pain. But he does stuff, like I said to Becca, that I do find a little bit concerning. Like the other day, he did something, and I could tell he hurt himself. And I was like, Atlas, are you all right? And he's like holding it, but he won't let me like check on him. He's just like shrugging it off. And I'm like, I know it's hurt. You don't have to pretend it doesn't.
Yeah.
But obviously I can't communicate that with him.
No.
And I'm like, Becca's like, it's just what he does. He doesn't like being hurt. He'll like shrug it. And I'm like, he's too young, in my opinion. He's too young to be doing that. Or is that normal? Or is that, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I mean, yeah. To me, that seems alien. Because I'm like,
because obviously Elijah's very much opposite. Like, so I don't know. I've not had that. Elijah, when he gets hurt, runs to his mum. Like, that's his first.
But to me, that's the norm.
Yeah.
That to me feels normal. He hurts himself. He wants comfort. Now, only when he properly hurts himself does he want comfort.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, I'll watch him do stuff and he'll be rubbing it like on his head, and I'll walk over and I'll be like, "You're right," and he'll just walk off, and I'll be like, "It's all right if it hurt. It's okay."
It's difficult when you can't communicate. It's very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you can't be like, it's all right to be hurt. They're like,
yeah, I'm just gonna go hold this stick for a little bit. Like, but it's okay.
be over here if you need me.
Yeah. I mean, we was at Aldi the other day, and he was running, and he fell, and he normally gets up quite quickly, but he didn't get up, and I was like, he must have hurt himself. Didn't cry, so I went over there, like, picked him up. He's got a red mark already on his face, and I was like, "Oh, are you all right?" And I could tell he's hurting, and we like stood there for like 3 seconds, and then he just walked off, and I was like, "It's all right. You can tell me. Cry. It's okay." Yeah, and I'm always like, I'm always like, is that something I've done wrong?
I don't think
Is
there's
there a
anything
reason
wrong.
he doesn't want
I
to?
think. I mean, I guess you'll communicate as he gets older. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, I think babies are fairly nature driven, like as
Yeah,
opposed to like
true.
he's not sitting there going, "Mother and father will be disappointed if I cry here." So
Yeah, because we
what
never.
I'm
do you know
not
what I
going to
mean?
do. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not going to be
Yeah.
his like internal thought process. He's just like, "It's what it is."
Yeah, like I always feel like I'm very comforting when he cries. Like, well, I try to be anyway. You know, I'll always be like, I'll pick him up, like, hey, it's all right, you know, type
I
thing.
blame
And-
Becca if I
Hey, well, I try to.
shouldn't say that. That's
no,
not.
no. We're only
I'm
kidding.
joking.
Yeah,
That's- Of course not.
Yeah, no. But I do find knowing nothing about children
Yeah.
and then parenting, and then when they're doing something that you think's not normal, you go, is that okay?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like 90% of things that happen, you're just like, is that normal?
Is that? Yeah. Do I just go, he's obviously hardy? Or do I go, that's not right? Like, what's the level that you kind of in the
I
end
mean,
go,
what I would say is when he starts walking into fire
yeah.
and not stopping,
Yeah.
that's when you probably go, right, let's stop.
Yes,
That's enough now.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yes, danger. This is, like I told you, when he was really little, he was only like 11 months old. He walked over to the oven, put his hand on it, and I thought, this will teach him. Took his hand straight off, looked at his hand, put it back on the oven. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, no.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Like, I'm stood right behind him, so I know
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not going to burn
Of
himself.
course, yeah.
And the oven's hot. It's not boiling. So, but I'm like, this will show him. I'm like, what are you crazy? God.
What you got to do is you got to get a mug of boiling water and a mug of cold water, put them both in front of him. So touch one. Don't ever do this with your child. Ever. Just to clarify,
yeah.
in case you watch
You
this
got
and you
halfway through
cut
the
off
story.
here and you go, great idea, let me try that.
Yeah.
Don't ever fucking do this with your
Yeah,
child.
yeah.
And then ask him to touch one.
Yeah.
And then take the one that he touches or take the other one away. See if he touches it again. So if he touches the boiling water, take the cold water away. And then see what he does.
Yeah. What was that? Jeez.
Make him touch boiling water.
I might as well just have boiling water. And I don't know why I've got the cold.
Or maybe you touch the cold water.
Then I just leave the cold. I don't know why it's there. The whole concept is that he touches boiling water. I don't get it.
In case he needs a drink.
Okay, that perfect. You brought it in well there. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've covered it very well. Is it's important to train, but it's important to play.
Yes, yeah. It's also at an age now, I think there's definitely a cut-off age where training becomes mandatory in the way of sometimes you're not going to enjoy training, but it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In order to get better, training needs to be done.
Yeah.
At the age he's at now, if he's not having fun training, I'm not going to force it upon him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
not training for the fucking Olympics, so
Nope.
I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
If he's not enjoying it and it's something he doesn't want to do, I'm not going to force it on him, but we will train something.
And what age do you think you'll get him to join a team or start a sport?
It depends what he's into, really. I mean, he loves a bit of rugby at the moment. Essentially, at the moment, he's into what I'm into. So, I think I could take him to a rugby team. He could probably join something now.
Yeah, but when do you think you will? When do you think you'll have the conversation with him? When do you think?
I don't think I'll have a conversation. I'll just be like... The thing that puts me off a little bit is how he was with ninja training. Because obviously he does ninja training. He's part of the little ninja training team they've got there.
Yeah.
But the thing that's put me off is the way he entered with ninja training. Is he going to want to go to a club on his own?
Yeah.
And how do I combat that? Do I just continually turn up and hope for the best?
That's
Do
a really
I-
tough
do you know
one,
what I
you
mean?
know?
Like, because I went to the ninja training thing 3 times with him and he didn't want to get involved until I brought his friend along. But I can't bring his friend to everything.
No, but do you think it'd be interesting if you said to him, like you went once, you say if he doesn't like it, and you say, well, do you want to ask a friend from school or something like that? And see if...
But then do I want to get into a thing of he can only ever join a club if he's with someone?
I think at the young age he is now, I don't think it's so important. I think as he grows, he'll be happy to do stuff. I just think the idea of him going to stuff is what is the more important element.
Yeah.
Because I've obviously, upon what's happened with Elijah, I've really contemplated this with Atlas as well. What if he's similar? What if he doesn't want to do
I
stuff
think
by
you have a
himself?
problem with Atlas, mate.
No, I don't. I'm not sure, but
Atlas, you'll turn up, he won't even know you're there.
no. I'll be like, go have. I was going.
You know what your problem will be? keeping him in the class.
Yeah.
Just wander off.
Yeah,
Alice.
you're probably right. God.
Fucking get back here.
Yeah, I mean that boy's a wanderer, isn't he? Absolutely. But yeah, no, but I'm really looking forward to when he gets to like Elijah's age, and I feel like we can get more of a.
As long as you're
concept of
enjoying your
team
time
sport.
together, do you know what I mean? I think that's the key thing. Yeah, we'll always do some sort of training, but something that he likes to do.
Yeah.
You know, and he might not be doing explosive stuff or doing like speed stuff or anything like that. He might not be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
We might do just a little simple throwing game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's fun.
You know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? That's good. As long as he gets the concept of we need to do some training. That's like the main thing.
Yeah.
And the consistency of it, which I know you're big on as well. Making sure it is being done. Because this is what I say about parents. Whether it's right or wrong, it's just an opinion, obviously. I don't think enough parents instill how important training is.
Yeah.
They wait till it's much later or something like that.
Also, one thing I try not to do, unless we've been doing it for a long time, is letting... It's going to sound really bad, but please let me finish.
Okay.
Letting him stop when he wants to stop. So whenever he says, "Oh, is that enough?" I'll never say yes.
Right.
So what I don't want him to think is that he can just give up whenever he fancies. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if like we're doing it a little while, it might just be like 2 or 3 more, like we'll be on the punch bag, whatever.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "Oh, is it done now?" I'm like, "No, 2 or 3 more." Do you know what I mean? He'll do 2 or 3 more and then like, "Now it's done."
Yeah.
But whenever he kind of goes, "Oh," because he does, like now he's 5, he kind of does that kind of, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're done now." And I'm like, no, just 2 more, do it. And then obviously acknowledging that thing I sent you the other day, acknowledging the effort that they've put in, acknowledging how hard they've worked at training is something I'm massive with Elijah. It's like how hard he's worked. I'm like, you just smashed that, done really well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not just the result.
Skill isn't important when it comes to encouragement as effort.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely... Just to... I know, I think I quoted it the other day, but it is, for me, one of the best quotes of all time is... which is, like I said, it starts at Elijah's age, definitely, which I think is important, is you can be whatever you want to be, but you have to work every day at it.
Absolutely. 100%.
And I think that's what that training does. It gets him in that zone and in that mode.
And that end part of that saying is so important.
Yeah.
Because being whatever you want to be, fine, fantastic, brilliant message to send.
Yeah.
But you're not just going to get it.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
And not enough kids are told that early on.
Yeah.
Because and that's how you grow up entitled. That you get this
Massively.
whole I'm owed XYZ.
I can be whatever I want to be.
Yeah. No,
But nobody told me how to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just think that is, and that's why this whole training mindset is so crucial. I rate your ethos with Elijah so greatly, and the way that you encourage, and fair play to Elijah as well. Is he's so gun ho with it and willing?
Yeah.
And I know he has his good days and his bad
Yeah,
days.
of course, all kids will.
It's a 5-year-old. Do you know what I mean? But the idea is that he's always willing, at least, to do the training and enjoying it and stuff. And I think that's such a great lifestyle.
One other thing, I appreciate that, by the way.
That's all.
That will, as a bit of advice, they were far more willing to get involved if you're doing it too.
Yes.
I figured that out with certain things we do here. If I start doing it, he's much more likely to do it. Because I went through a thing of like just instructing him, this is what I want you to do, get down, blah, blah. Like he'll stop, we'll do the thing where we start on our front, we've got to jump back up to our feet in a position, run across, pick something up, come back, jump back down. Do you know what I mean? So it's like explosive kind of thing. And he was like kind of not really into it until I started doing it with him. And I'm like, right, let's do it. Like, boom, I'll do it first. This is what you do. And then I'm like, what's your foot? Look at your foot position. Like when you jump up, your feet are obviously, but he's obviously jumping up as you would naturally, just feet back here.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you expect to run from there?
Yeah.
I'm like, jump up in a foot position where you can run. Like, and then I did it, showed him, and then he starts doing it. Do you know what I mean? So, like, doing it first and doing examples and doing it yourself, much more likely to get involved. Or Elijah is anyway.
Yeah. Well, not being funny, it makes perfect sense. I mean, I read a little article the other day about mimic play, where a lot of children learn just by watching.
Yeah.
So obviously, if they're being told to do something, it's not the same.
Yeah.
As for when you do it, and it's just that mimic play.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is where your feet are. This is what you're doing. This is how hard you're working. That's what I'm going to mimic.
Yeah.
And I think, there's so much to read and to understand, to learn about children.
Massively.
That just doing these little things Like you say,
And the thing-
getting involved.
The thing is, it's never going to be a detriment. Like some physical exercise is never going to be a
That's
detriment to
never
them.
be bad for them.
So let's fucking just crack on and do it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
if you have enjoyed everything you've seen, please don't forget that this podcast is subscribable.
How's this working for you?
Oh, I don't know. The thing is, I always start like I'm going to monotone it and then realise and then try and change it. And it
The
doesn't
long
really-
Eon, please. Is
Yeah,
what go on.
please.
Yes. So,
Do
guys,
the thing!
Yeah. So, guys, if you've enjoyed the podcast, please. I was like, he's caught himself. He's caught himself doing it.
Right, guys, like, subscribe, press the button underneath the thing that does the thing for notifications. Oh, that was awful.
Yeah. So, guys, if you have enjoyed today's episode, if you would like and subscribe to the Bromantic Podcast, that'd be wonderful. We also have a Ko-fi set up. If you'd like to donate anything, we are trying to get some new cameras. We've recently just purchased some new background stuff as well, which will hopefully be here ready for the next episode of the poddy.
Yeah, it's taken a while.
Yeah. If you want to join the Discord, that'd be great as well.
All links in the description below.
Yes,
Oh,
and our
it's on
link
all the
tree
things.
and whatnot. Other than
We'll love
that,
you forever.
we'll love you forever. Bye.
I'm not going back to the start to recheck it. It's not happening.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not
I've
sure.
gone back to the start.
Can you not scroll down the bottom to go through it faster?
Scroll where?
There's normally a little thing at the bottom so you can go faster.
I don't think you hit... Oh my god, you can't. Unbelievable.
Guys, we're learning every day. We're learning.
Bro, to read it!
Every day.
To read it! Look!
Every day is a school day.